In our last episode, we had some of the best tacos on earth at my favorite taco stand on earth. This time around, we have some friends in town visiting, so we take a short hop to a neighboring bay to have a little fun on the water. Getting out of Bar de Navidad today. Briefly, just gonna be out of here for a few days, going to Tenacatita, which is a couple hours away, which would be a nice little change of scenery. Get out of this funky water, make some water with the water maker, go for a swim, surfing, lots of fun stuff. But after spending a couple of weeks anchored in the Bar de Navidad lagoon, the first things first is to clean off some of the funk off the anchor chain. Because if we don't, our entire boat smells like a bunch of dead fish. The whole process is a mix of wash, rinse, and repeat, all the way down to the big old ball of mud stuck on the anchor. And it probably goes without saying that once we are out of there and moving, someone on this ship was trying to catch us some fish. With a couple of fishing lines in the water, we actually thought our odds were better than normal, because everywhere you looked, the water was boiling with fish. But unfortunately, not one of those little guys wanted to bite. Light wind sailing day. Not much breeze, but we're moving barely. I don't think Brenda's gonna let me keep this up much longer. Sails are starting to flop. We're doing 2 knots. Normally 3 is the threshold, where she says, fire up the motor, we're done. 2.5, we're going 2.5. Gonna hold out as long as I can. I despise listening to the motor. And it's pretty nice out. We'll see how long this lasts.
Oh my god, we're going 2 knots. This isn't gonna work. I think our fishing lines are gonna pass us.
Short-lived. Got about an hour out of it. Back to motoring. It's gonna be a motor fest the rest of the way. The wind's kind of died. It's almost glassy, but there is a pretty good swell, which means there may be surfing up there. Hopefully. We'll see when we get there. I don't know that the swell's going in the right direction, but I am crossing my fingers. And so, after a bit more motoring than I had hoped for, we made it to Bahia de Tenacatita. And right behind us, well, there came the troops, which meant it was time to get together to celebrate.
Somebody's gotta row this ship. Just sit around and eat tacos all day.
This is gonna take forever.
Taking you on a romantic row over to Joey's boat. Look, we made it.
Almost. That was a lot of work. Oh man.
Sitting there.
And a celebration around here? Well, of course, that involves cannonballs off the top of Free Luff.
In the cabin.
Cannonball.
Yeah, make sure you're only on the...
That kind of looks like a long ways.
Yeah, don't bounce off that deep.
Tenacatita is another gem of a spot on the Pacific side of Mexico. But a big part of its charm isn't because of what's here, it's because of what's not here. Other than a bunch of sailors and a small restaurant that's surrounded by a crocodile-filled estuary, this place is pretty much empty. And because of that, I'd say it's just about perfect. But that little restaurant, tucked in between those palm trees and on that sandy beach, it's reason enough to come here.
This is Arroyo del Mar. Could be one of the greatest inventions in all of Mexico. It's a fish wrapped with bacon, stuffed with shrimp, and an almond cream sauce. It's incredible! I love these things. And the best restaurant we've ever had that has them is right here in Tenacatita. There's nothing else here except this and all of these guys. Going down the hatch. I assume you guys are fully aware that you're gonna always be on camera now. Hi team! Hi!
I think you're the one that's gonna suffer.
Snorkel sesh with the team! Hi, Brenda.
Another big part of the charm here in Tenacatita is the water. It's warm, it's pretty clear, and it's a pretty great place to spend the morning.
Nice job out there.
And of course, no stop in Tenacatita would be complete without doing what we do best.
No.
Hanging out with our friends and eating way too much good food.
Quite the service here.
Yep.
Thanks, Jason.
What do you got here?
So I made banana bread for dinner tonight. This is, one of them has coconut flour that Brenda gave me. So
Hey, Ty, will you hand me that black?
we don't know which one is which, but we're gonna do a blind taste test.
Nice job, Jen.
Thanks.
High five. I'm excited about these things.
We're not gonna eat it now, are we?
They smell incredible.
I think we should eat this first and then.
Yeah, dessert first, please.
On aboard.
Do you guys think dessert first?
There are no rules.
I do care very much about eating in itself.
And we had
That we, right?
Banana
We
bread
made people
with
perfect.
coconut
We are
flour.
not paying it first. That is ridiculous.
This one's really good.
Last seriously,
Like you pick it up and
And this is the regular one, right?
yeah.
Yeah. At least they both came out like
I
bread.
actually prefer the regular one better.
Just take the whole thing.
No, I'll end up eating like 4 of them.
I'm not agreeing
You're so fun.
What do you think of it?
it's delicious.
Do you have a preference?
That one.
You're doing the Bam Bam. You gotta try them both again, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'll get to the point where you have no bread left and then you gotta start over.
Right. I think I like it without coconut.
Really? I do too.
But after a quick few days and another feast fit for a king, the next morning we were out of there.
Okay, that was a quick little stop in Tenacatita. Just a few days. Going back to Barra. Thad and Kristen, they're out of here tomorrow. Gonna have one last hurrah, and that'll be that. Thanks for coming, guys. Hi.
It's on the roller.
And after a quick couple of windless hours of motoring, we made it back to our little slice of paradise, tucked into the Barra de Navidad Lagoon. Once we were settled in, we flagged ourselves down a water taxi, picked up the troops, and we're off to town for one last hurrah.
I'm just gonna throw it over.
And you might think that one last hurrah with Thad and Kristen deserves the best tacos in town. Well, sometimes you gotta branch out, 'cause this place here has one of the best steaks around.
Cheers. Thad's a vegetarian. He was until tonight.
I dabble in vegetarianism.
Could be the best steak in the world. It's worth dropping vegetarianism for this. See you guys. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
So good to see you.
Come here.
Bye.
Group hug.
Group hug.
Jason went group level. I knew it. See you guys. Thanks for coming.